At Broadway, we operate with three core values: broad hearts, broad minds, and broad reach. So when you think about a mission, I mean, there are always opportunities to serve, but we're trying to create a way of life. And so when that happens, all of a sudden your mission is everywhere. I think a lot of our younger folks experience the world, and maybe they feel in a very broad way, because look how we're connected to all of these places around the world. We see it, what's happening, and so they think they're a part of it. But until you get into a real life situation where you recognize this is different than what I know, it's hard to really know without experiencing it.
I think I went in with like no expectations really. Like I just knew that it was going to be a situation that I've never been in before, and it was going to be uncomfortable. I think what stands out for me the most is that we got insight into a community that really cares about each other, which is something that we don't really have here. Like we have smaller communities like this church, but we don't really have an entire community just looking out for each other the whole time. I do think it is more than building eco-stoves. I think the relationships and friendships that we built while we were there had a longer lasting impression. And it was really cool to see like all those good people.
In El Salvador, they were probably the happiest people I've ever seen. And a lot of people in my life are very negative and harsh, and they complain a lot, and they're very critical of everything around them, and they don't give life a chance to surprise them, I guess. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, and I still will talk about it. I'll still say, well, in El Salvador I did this. And it's not just a good memory. It helped me realize what I want to do with my life and how I want to live my life.
Before this trip, I was really like nervous, and I was like, I didn't want to mission trips for something again I didn't want to do. I didn't want any part of it. And what I was doing was picking the safe option, which would be stay home, you know, stay in the United States, stay here in this world we've built, this kind of bubbly, you know, just comfort. But honestly, like, it is scary and it is hard, and like it was a long week for sure. But stepping out of my comfort zone and growing as a person, like I physically felt the growth throughout that week. Like when I got through the week, I was like, oh, I'm a different person than I was when I first got here, simply just because I stepped out of my comfort zone and tried something that I never thought I would do. So I encourage, you know, if you're like me and you're like, you know, you don't think it's for you, or you're too afraid, or you think whatever, for whatever reason, I would say do it and don't think about it until you're there.
A lot of times at that age, it's a very impactful experience. It could even change somebody's life direction, right? Their vocation may open up in a wholly different way because of some need that they saw or some conversation that they had. And so we feel like there's really no substitute for getting out of your comfort zone, seeing life from another perspective, and then finding a way in which that connects with your greatest hope. The greatest thing is to find your passion and where there is a need in the world, and the two of those intersect. And so if some of these trips can help foster some of that possibility, creating a greater sense of compassion for the world, then that's a great start into figuring out a way in which to be a loving, kind, faithful human. And so I think it's a great opportunity for young people.